Hello everyone, my name is Rosana Nabat and here's my audience. So now I'm gonna start. How frequently do you put off doing a task until the very last minute? And do you recall the time you decided you wouldn't clean up your apartment since you didn't feel like it at the moment? Does this sound familiar? I'm pretty sure yes. I'm talking about procrastination, and I know almost all of us are guilty of doing this. So today I'm going to talk about what exactly is procrastination, why we procrastinate, and how can we deal with it. When a task is delayed or put off until the very last minute or after its due date, it is called procrastination. The research article published on the Frontiers website in July 2018 has described procrastination as a form of self-regulation failure characterized by the irrational delay of tasks despite potentially negative consequences. Even though we are aware of negative impacts on a person's daily life, we come up with a number of excuses to justify our behavior. We simply wait until we are motivated to start things off, or we wait for the right time to come. As a result, we rush to get things done and the task hardly gets completed. According to Joseph Ferrari, a professor of psychology at DePaul University in Chicago and author of Still Procrastinating, the No Regret Guide to Getting It Done, mentioned in his article in 2010 that 20% of US adults are chronic procrastinators, which is higher than the number of people diagnosed with clinical depression or phobias. So considering this, we can assume how procrastination negatively impacts our daily life. Now that we know what procrastination is, let's talk about why we procrastinate. There are several reasons for procrastination. One of them is avoidance. People tend to avoid certain tasks which cause them unpleasant feelings like fear of failure, criticism, low self-esteem, stress, or inadequacy. So instead of working on those tasks, they find themselves wasting time on social media or doing things that focus on their short-term mood because it is more appealing and rewarding. According to Fusia Sirois, a professor in the Department of Psychology at Durham University, noted in Speaking of Psychology in 2022 that the type of tasks that we procrastinate on are the ones that we don't enjoy. They are ones that we find unpleasant, aversive, and that can range the full spectrum from just simply boring to gut-wrenching, nerve-wracking, and anxiety-provoking. Therefore, we are more likely to procrastinate on those tasks which makes us feel that way. And another thing that we hear quite a lot is, I work better under pressure. It has been a common excuse to delay the task until the last minute. There is no debate that every individual reacts to a given situation differently, but using it as an excuse to justify your behavior is not ideal at all. Nobody works better under pressure. It is just one of the common myths about procrastination. As I said, we all procrastinate and feel bad about it, and yet we continue to do it. We often find ourselves wondering how to stop procrastinating. Well, there are several ways to deal with it and start getting things done on time. We often find our tasks too overwhelming, so instead of looking at it as a big piece, try to break it down into small manageable tasks. When you do this, you will start to believe that it's so easy that you should just start doing it right away. Another way is to avoid any kind of distraction that takes away your attention. Our surroundings greatly influence our productivity, so choose a setting that encourages us to concentrate on the topics we have chosen to focus on by eliminating every possible distraction. Lastly, Timothy A. Pitchell has mentioned in his article in 2009 that self-forgiveness for procrastinating may play a role in helping people overcome the negative effects of procrastination and encourage a behavior change. Therefore, being kind to ourselves might help us to reduce procrastination by reducing negative effect. Now, to conclude, we know a little about procrastination, what causes it, and some ways to avoid it. So, although almost all of us are going to still procrastinate time and often, it is necessary to understand what causes us to procrastinate in the first place so that we can walk through the actions that we can take to help us stop procrastinating. So don't beat yourself up thinking you are going to achieve it in a day. Remember, it's a gradual process. Thank you.